once we find the videos, where are these kids?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
what's the point of the videos?
Oh,
Because they sell those too.
they sell those. It's
sell
it's like pornography.
Okay.
And people literally are that sick that they enjoy watching.
Yeah.
it.
That's
Dude, it's
man.
it's so messed up. And then that just like just like any type of hit or drug, just the pornography part leads people into actually doing the act itself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then that leads into more and more crimes, which gets them put into that whole sex ring. And I mean, that's why it's $billion industry.
It's billions of dollars. I mean,
and that's sad. Well, I don't know. It's just crazy that happens on a day-to-day basis.
well, yeah, and here stateside, it cracks me up because we found through the narcotics trades that all of a sudden the narcotics traffickers are now looking at it and going, wait, we can use our same circles and everything else that we use to traffic our narcotics. We can do the same thing with human beings. And, you know, not to get all political, but I'm going to get political because it's a political issue. Sure. Securing our borders and everything, it becomes so important because literally they're bringing these children across through the tunnels, through the trafficking routes and all that stuff over our borders. That's how they do it, you know. And
the more they open up the
easier it is.
The easier it is for them to bring more people in.
Yeah, and it's so tragic when you sit there and look at all that.
I wish this issue would get brought up when border security is talked about.
People don't want to talk about.
They don't want to talk about it because it's
it's so sickening for most people to even imagine that there are humans that would do that. That it's like it's unfathomable for them to even go there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And because they don't want to talk about it. Media doesn't want to talk about that kind of stuff. They just write it off.
Right.
It's like,
but it's still happening.
Ignoring something doesn't mean it goes away.
No.
You know?
No, it actually amplifies it because if you're going to ignore it, that means you're going to allow it to continue.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the challenges that I put out to everybody. It's like, hey, look, if you know something, talk about it.
Sure.
Get people the knowledge that they need to know and understand what's going on with it, because it becomes so important, and it becomes literally, it takes over so many people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just the people that are being trafficked. It's the people that are actually doing the trafficking.
Yeah.
It's the people that are assisting in the trafficking that are, clearing the routes.
The rings. Or whatever.
The thing is like, and some of those people, I don't know how you could even be a part of any process of it. Yeah, there are some people that aren't actually doing the act itself. But like you said, you have all of these other people that are funding things.
Yep.
That are opening up the tunnels, all that kind of stuff. All those people are equally as evil.
Oh yeah.
To allow that to go on. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm just they just pay me to make sure that this is open.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that.
And I'm sure that is the thought process for a lot of people that are dealing with this.
Yeah.
Let's bring them to justice. You know?
Well, and that was one of the things too that I really liked about our units is we were able to take out entire pieces. So we take out the people that are doing the trafficking. Awesome. My only regret is that when we liberated the people from the trafficking trades, from the sex trades, it was okay. Yeah, we've liberated them. However, now being able to look back on my cases and all that stuff to go, okay, that person, they need counseling, number one, to be able to get through the trauma that they've gone through. Yeah. They need to learn skill sets so that they don't go back into that. Yep. They need to go through a program to get them off the drugs or alcohol or whatever it is that they're addicted to now because of what they were forced to do.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's not something that you can do overnight. And that's one of the things I love about. There's so many different programs now that are looking at this and they're going, okay,
the aftercare.
The aftercare, yeah.
There's a lot of them out there now.
Yeah, there's There's a couple of groups that I can't mention because they want to stay under the radar, so to speak.
Yeah.
But they're literally getting these people vocational schools or vocational education.
Yeah.
So they teach them a trade, which gets them so that they can become independent.
Yeah.
Then they teach them how to manage money because they've never had to manage money before.
Yeah.
And they get them the counseling and everything they need to get through the drug addictions and the alcohol addictions and all that. And then they teach them how to have a positive relationship with a member, of the sex that they choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
at some point, I mean, I'm sure that would be one of the hardest things for them.
Oh yeah.
Being touched in any way again may just bring up a whole flood of PTSD, and that'd be really hard to have a relationship.
Yeah, and it's just when I look at those organizations, I'm like, that's what needs to start being funded. And there's a number of them here in Utah that
there's one in Park City. There's a place in Park City that I think it's only a couple years old now, and they have a big, huge facility. I think there's 30 different buildings.
And do the people actually live at
they stay there?
Facilities?
They stay there for however long. I guess however long is needed.
What needs to happen,
Yeah, and in some cases, it's a year-long event just for them to be able to go out and be self-reliant and comfortable enough to be able to go deal with normal society.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure.
And I forget the actual statistic, but it's like 50 to 60% that are liberated from the human trafficking world actually go back into it voluntarily because it's comfortable for them.
Yeah.
It's what they know.
It makes sense to them.
That's so hard.
And it's easy for them, and it's just like, oh man. And it's literally, I remember one where I literally just grabbed this kid and just clung to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. And this kid literally was about the same age as my son. And I was like, oh.
That's got to be so emotional, you know?
Well, yeah, dude, it stings. It stings to this day.
Yeah.
I can still feel that pressure on my neck.
Yeah. Just hearing about it, I'm getting
chills.
Yeah, emotions, and I can't. Well, thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, that was my honor.
Or did. Yeah,
it was my honor.
It takes a really strong-minded, tough individual.
Oh yeah,
to do that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Some people would break, and that would be so traumatic for them to even first day on the job. They might be like, "I'm done." See ya.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm sure there were times where it was like that. You're like, "Dude, I don't want to." I'm
sure.
This.
Yeah.
How could it not be?
Well, and it's funny because we would joke on the teams. We would sit there and go, "Yeah, we play hard, and we work even harder."
Yeah.
But when we play, dude, it literally to challenge ourselves to do, a workout. It was just, well, dude, I can do this. I've been through hell.
Yeah.
I've seen hell. I've been standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell people in my classes, I'm like, look, I've literally looked into the face of evil, looked through their eyes, and there's just nothing there but pure evil.
Yeah.
And luckily that guy went away for 200 plus years.
Oh yeah.
It's just the personal satisfaction I got from that was like, oh yeah, goodbye, kid.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yep.
But when you sit there and you look at that person and you just go, everything about you is evil.
Yeah.
There's no good.
Yeah.
How I don't understand, because I've watched a lot of documentaries and all that kind of stuff, and you see they film some of these people, and I'm like, you can see it even just through the film.
Yeah.
Like there's no soul.
The sex traffickers.
It's almost like there's just nothing there, because usually you can look into somebody's eyes and you can see humanity. You can
there's
see
some
something
compassion
in there, right? Even if they're violent behavior, whatever. But like these kind of people, it's like they've sold it all. They've lost it. It's gone. They're just literally just this body walking around.
Yeah.
And I just, dude, it'd be so hard not to just, beat one of those dudes just on site. You know what I mean? And they have to go through their due process. You have to,
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I'll tell you, the people that I worked with, they are just so amazing, because literally there were times when we could have shot people, but we didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell people in my classes too, I go, it takes more to not shoot someone than it does to actually shoot them.
Well, especially in that situation. Yeah.
You know, and it's all based on those situations. And, you know, the totality of everything, when we look at it, you know, the people, especially from the trafficking side, when we look at it, we go, hey, they're going to get 200 plus years, or they're going to get 150 plus years. Dude, what's better? Do we just eliminate them from society, or do we actually punish them?
Let them deal. Let
true.
them deal with that for the rest of their lives.
I wasn't thinking about it in that way, but it might be worse for the actual sex trafficker to be in prison. And not just to
instead
die.
of just dying. Just
take
dying.
The easy way out.
Easy way out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I think they should be castrated. And I'm sorry. I have a lot of emotions with this, but I think they should all be, you know, eunuchs. Sorry, cut it off. You can't even ever like have those feelings, emotions ever again. Just you're done.
Yeah.
And it's better that a millstone be wrapped around their neck and thrown into the sea than to offend a child.
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay
That's a
with
scripture.
that.
I don't remember what scripture that is, but it's somewhere in the Bible.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. But it would be better for them than what's going to happen to them, to their soul,
right?
Because of what they've done.
Yeah, you know, and again, my teams were such amazing people that, you know, we always looked at what the big picture was.
Yeah.
You know, if it had to come down to, hey, it's us or them, okay, well, guess what? You know, my guys my teams were so squared away that I had no doubts ever that, you know, business was going to be taken care of. Yeah. So I was very fortunate to have that. But I mean, literally the amount of trauma that our teams went through, our guys went through, it's crazy, because now, you know, being able to take some time to look back on it, you know, it's just crazy, because, you know, at one point in time, I was up to drinking a gallon of Jack Daniels a week.
Just to cope?
Just to cope.
Yeah.
You know, just to get those demons to subside.
To shut up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Shut
up is a great idea. Yeah, that's a great analogy.
I remember Jack Daniels. Yeah. Jack Daniels helped.
Yeah. Well, Jack Daniels is very good at helping until the next morning.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Or it was morning and you're already drinking Jack.
Exactly.
But that's the thing you don't really think about, is how it affects the police officer.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard job, and we should be
more appreciative and grateful.
I think so.
And put more funding into you guys, so you can have the mental health and the cognitive training, like we were talking about.
Is that like the mental health aspect even addressed?
It is. And, you know, with my department, they were so good about that. We had an entire unit, 3 people that were dedicated to the mental health of our officers. And literally, I went through 4 years of counseling. Every single week, an hour a week, sometimes 2 hours, depending on you know what
happened that week.
What happened that week. You know, because some of this stuff, like literally, I remember so many times coming home. You know, we were supposed to get home or be done at 1 o'clock. You know, I'd get home. Usually the earliest I get home would be 4. Just because of the things that we were doing. And I'd get home, the entire house would be quiet. I'd walk out to the garage, I'd crack a freaking beer, and just down it, just to, boom, just start that decompression.
Bring you back down,
and I'd walk into my kids' rooms, and I'd just sit there on their beds and sob.
Like that's
so hard.
That's something you like never think about. And these officers are dealing with those types of feelings every day.
And then we expect them to be able to handle every situation totally correctly. And
never make a mistake.
And never make a mistake. It's like, dude, you don't know what they're going through.
If they are gonna make a mistake, like as far as taking
an evil person out.
and then do it. Like,
yeah,
I don't think...
I know we're not the judge. Eternally, we're not the judge of those people